Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Renee Mehrra, and today I am talking to a very loving, kind, gentle soul whom I've known for a few years now. She's the spokesperson for the American Heart Association, serves on over 100 nonprofits worldwide. And this year, she scripted history. She became the first runner-up Miss World pageant in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Let's meet and give a warm welcome to Shree Saini, Beauty with a Purpose. Shree, congratulations, and we have a lot of catching up to do with you today.
Thank you, Renee G, and thank you for all your love and support these past few years. It's been such an honor to get to know you more and serve alongside of you, and I look forward to sharing a little bit about my journey today.
Yes, you are the reigning Miss World America. That again is a coveted title. It's the first time an Indian American got this title. And this year, first runner-up Miss World pageant. So there's so much of your life's defining moments, but I'm going to start with your life defining moment that was this year, March 16, 2022 in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Getting this title. Let's talk about your journey.
Yes, so my journey to Miss World began with a dream of a little girl who was just 6 years old when she watched Miss World in her living room with her parents. And I told my kindergarten teacher that year, because in kindergarten, preschool, they ask kids all the time, what do you want to be? And I told my teacher, Mamta ma'am, I want to be Miss World. So subconsciously, this dream of mine to become a Miss World has been with me for 20 years. And I'll show you a picture of me. But prior to the interview, Renee and I mentioned that I have some pictures, and I'll share those pictures with the audience. So here's just a picture of me when I was 6 years old, dressed up as Miss World. And the reason I admired Miss World pageants and the title holders was the mission behind the work that they do. Miss World contestants around the world serve in their communities. They give voice to important causes and issues. And as a little girl, when I was in India, I was born in India, and I witnessed a lot of poverty. It broke my heart to see people living in those conditions. But I also saw Miss World contestants being of help and being of aid. So I connected those situations, and I wanted to be someone who is of help and who is of service. And Miss World was that avenue that I could be of aid to people.
Wow. And the question that was asked to you this time, your journey started when you were 6 years old, and it reached its fruition this year again, and many times before that, because you held many other titles in the world of pageantry. The question was asked to you is, what human right do you value most?
Yes, that was my final question before crowning. Which human right do you value the most? And I said the human right that I value the most is dignity. Because when we're able to listen to another person's perspective, we're able to find their problems and give them solutions. And it's so important that we give the gift of dignity to people, especially who are in conditions where they aren't blessed with the basic rights of shelter, food, water, healthcare. And that's exactly the work that a Miss World does. She gives the gift of dignity. She goes to rural communities and finds solutions and is of aid. And that is my desire, to be that person and to be of maximum service. And God blessed me with the title of first runner-up that night, and also the Beauty with a Purpose ambassador. So I was successful in that mission, and now I'll be traveling with Miss World. I think technically a Miss World on average travels to 30 or 40 countries. I will see how many countries I'll get the chance to visit this year, but I'm really looking forward to encouraging every person I'm able to meet throughout this journey and even beyond.
Right. And Miss World was this year Miss Poland. So you're going to be
Yes.
with Biloski. Okay, that's great. That's wonderful news. As I said earlier, there's so much to talk to you about. It's so much about your life's defining moments. This was a great definitive moment in 2022 in Puerto Rico. But when we go back in your childhood years, a very big defining moment in your life. Share that with us, the trauma that you went through, and the car accident and the pacemaker, and told that you will never be able to dance again, and you became a ballerina. So go back and revisit. I know those are not the happiest moments, but you learned so much, and we can learn so much. The lessons learned from trauma to rise above it and share the world and enrich lives.
Oh, thank you so much for your kind words. Yeah, I've seen many challenges in my life to this title and this crown and this responsibility. And two of my most major challenges in my life were having a pacemaker. So when I was just 12, this is my pacemaker. You can see the scar. When I was just 12, I was diagnosed with having a complete heart block. I was actually born with a complete heart block where my upper and bottom chambers were not able to communicate with each other. And my heart would beat at a very low rate. I remember the first 12 years of my life, I would not feel as strong or as active as my other peers in elementary school and preschool. But I always tried to give it my best and have the best attitude in PE, physical education classes, and dance. But one day when I went to the doctor's office with my mother, they diagnosed me with having that complete heart block. And I was rushed for an emergency heart surgery for a pacemaker implant. I'm only alive today because of this technology and God's grace. And then later on, a few years ago, I was in a near fatal car accident that left me with burns all over my face. It was so excruciatingly painful. I couldn't even recognize myself in the mirror, could not even cry because the tears would literally burn my wounds. So I have seen, I think, some of the toughest challenges of my life, and having endured both physical and emotional pain motivated me to do all that I can to encourage people who are facing challenges to not lose sight of hope, to believe in themselves, to have a possibility and a solution-oriented mindset when they are struggling, and to always rise up from challenges by finding solutions. Like, for example, when I went through this challenging time of having a pacemaker, I always found solutions. Okay, I think the key to rising up from challenges is first acceptance, that I have to fully accept that this is what happened to me. I have to live with this pacemaker. And the second solution is find how are you going to react to this situation? Because in life, we're not a sum of our circumstances, we're a sum of our responses. So how are you going to respond to this challenge? So I responded by making choices for healing, finding ways I could regain my physical strength back up and my emotional strength back up. In both of those challenges, I read a lot of books. I listened to a lot of sermons. I told myself this quote, that as long as I have a heartbeat, I have a purpose. And I even share that quote on stage because I want people to realize that not everything in our life is going to be a smooth ride. It's going to be filled with challenges, but you have to keep cultivating a strong mindset and have actions behind that strong mindset that leads you to overcome difficult moments and rise up and realize that just the fact that we're alive is a huge privilege. It's a huge blessing. And we just have to take those steps every single day towards our goals, aspirations, but then also realize that it's not just about, our life is not just about what can we accomplish and how can we be successful. It's also about the impact that you make. So I really want to emphasize that. I think the most beautiful moments in life are when you're able to encourage other people and help your community through your life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you had those pictures. They are so heart-wrenching when I saw them, you know.
So
and here it is.
Yeah, here are some pictures of me and my face. My skin would bleed so much. I had to find a lot of solutions. I remember buying a lot of fans. So when I went back to university, shortly after, I was actually told by doctors that you need to stay home, don't go outside. And I just feel like I needed to try to live as much of a normal life as I could. I don't want to be defined by how I looked, but what I had to contribute and offer. So I spoke with my doctors and I said, I understand my skin is pretty, agitated and I need to protect it. And I will find ways and solutions to protect my skin. But I do want to continue my college education and live a normal life. So despite having this, on my face, this trauma, I found a medical kit. I put my cleaning wounds in there so I could clean my wounds and heal myself between classes. I bought a sun hat so I could protect my skin from the UVA lights, and just constantly listen to videos and sermons that empowered me emotionally.
Mom has been the wind beneath your wings. She's been always there. Your whole family has been there to support you and to give you that sense of security that, you can do it, and you've done it.
Thank you. Yes, my parents have been a huge pillar of my strength, and my friends have really helped me. My community has really helped me. So this has been not just my journey to Miss World, but all of our journeys to Miss World. And I just want to encourage people to never forget where they came from and always be grateful to your teachers and mentors. I personally didn't have like a huge team that was helping me prepare for Miss World, but I still want to acknowledge even a simple, encouraging, life uplifting conversation that I might have had with a person when I was struggling. I still want to thank them and acknowledge them, because in that moment they gave me those strength and they gave me those uplifting words, and that did help me.
And your journey into pageantry, that itself is such an extraordinary feat of admiration and so much of endurance. And, you can tell the world, you just said, I don't want to be defined by my looks, but you're being defined by your looks. You've been defined by your knowledge of where you've grown into, a person who is helping others, holding their hands and helping them to get closer to their aspirations and dreams, just like you did. So this journey, the preparation for in the world of pageants, especially Miss World, how was it? Were you into this for a while now, that, hey, this is my aim and I'm going to move it right there?
Well, I don't think I started when I was younger. What I did start doing when I was young was service and being of help and being of aid. So I kind of did the job of Miss World, which is speaking out on important issues, fundraising money. Ever since I was in middle school, I remember helping raise funds for UNICEF and making boxes for UNICEF and placing them in my teachers' classrooms and encourage. But the work started of me competing in pageantry later on. For all the service work I did before I even stepped on the Miss World stage, I had already gone to 34 states, 8 countries with my service work. So I think just doing the job of what a Miss World is going to do helped me prepare the most. When I did get on the Miss World stage and I did share an interview, I shared with them my desire to serve and how Miss World is one of the greatest humanitarian jobs in this world. And the organization themselves has raised over $1.3 billion for thousands of charities. It's just remarkable the work that Mrs. Julia Morley, alongside the entire organization, has done through the thousands of girls that have come and gone to the pageant. So I think being of service was the biggest help in preparation that helped me get ready for Miss World.
Wow. And you have some pictures that you want to share with us?
Sure. So I can share with you some pictures of me and some of the Miss World contestants. So it was in Puerto Rico. So this was one of the beach days. I'm standing right next to Miss India and Miss Luxembourg and Miss Iceland. I made so many wonderful friends and memories. That's Miss Indonesia. That was like Thanksgiving dinner. I'm just so excited to see them. And that's, again, Miss India and me, Manissa. And then I'll actually show you my service room. Every single letter and certificate that I have received from my public speaking events or fundraising events, I have saved with me. And a big thanks to my mom for always encouraging me to save those little tokens of appreciations. And I ended up having a Beauty with a Purpose service room, which is right here. So this is a room in my house where I have kept all the work that I've done with over 100 charities. And I had to make a video for Miss World. And this is in the video. And I just remind people that this room symbolizes that every loving action you take, every loving conversation you have does make a difference. So don't hesitate, do good and continue to be a blessing, because it will make a difference. And I think a lot of people hesitate and think, I don't have enough power or I don't have enough funds to make an impact. But every single time you take action, a positive action, you are making an impact. And that, even if you help one person, that's still such a beautiful such a beautiful act that you did. So it's just one person at a time. Don't feel overwhelmed. Just take action.
Absolutely. I mean, my spiritual mentor always tells me, be good, do good, be one. It's how you impact life. You make better societies, better cities, better world. So the change comes from each one of us. And if we can make a better world, and we can.
Saying you as well have done such a remarkable job in our community. For decades, you have been a beautiful leader and you have mobilized people and encouraged them. I've watched so many of your interviews and I'm just in awe of the resume that you have. So I'm so proud of you for the example that you set for all of us to have that possibility mindset that you are capable of making an impact. You are capable of doing more. So I am just so honored to kind of be mentored by you.
Thanks, Shree. Thank you so much. I know we go back, since 2018, we've known each other and we really had that chemistry and the rapport and we clicked very well. You have, in these challenging times, especially in the pandemic and how the world is going through, you have adopted a child, you've done a lot of relief efforts.
Yes, so I've done a lot of service work and the reason I want to share some of that service work to make people realize that they shouldn't limit themselves. Even Mrs. Morley, the owner of Miss World, says that it's never enough. Keep doing good and keep loving without limits. So through All God's Children, a nonprofit, I was able to adopt a child's education and food for an entire year. During COVID, I was able to raise 500,000 rupees for COVID relief. It helped to feed a lot of families that were struggling in India. I have helped many orphanages in India. I have mentored a lot of girls and students through Zoom calls. I did about 70 Zoom calls during COVID. I was able to fundraise over $50,000 for Variety Children's Charity that helps provide healthcare and fund heart surgeries and many surgeries that are needed. And I just continue to serve every single day, every single week. I ask myself, what can I do today to better impact the world? What can I do today to better myself? And as long as we keep asking ourselves those important questions, you will be able to find opportunities to be of aid and give back. You just have to continuously take action and continuously ask yourself, how can I be of help?
That's right. Now you're going to be traveling, as you said before, with Miss World around.
Yes.
Yes. And so share your vision, how you're going to be enriching lives and touching all the people that you meet with your such great positive energy.
Thank you so much. Well, every service event, I think it's going to be a bit different. I think I'm going to first share my story, be of encouragement, and then do the best I can to raise funds for that particular organization or school or nonprofit that we'll get to visit. I want to make sure that after I leave, I'm able to stay connected with those nonprofits, with those communities, and help find them tangible solutions so they can be more self-sufficient and independent. Because that's what I want people to realize, that just realize their worth and just connect them to resources within their community so they can be self-sufficient. So I look forward to doing as much as I can and just asking them, how can I be of help and aid? Because they know more about their communities and their community's problems than I do, but I know I will do my best to make them as self-sufficient as possible.
I'm sure you will. After Miss World, what's next for you, Shree?
The entire world is next for me. So I think I just want to focus right now on the blessing I've been given and do my best to serve Miss World. And I see serving Miss World for the rest of my life, helping them and not just the year of my service, but years and years down the road. I see myself being connected to the organization. But I know one thing for sure, that depending on what career I have or wherever I may be in 10, 20 years from now, I want to be of service and I want to be of aid. And that purpose is going to be a lifelong purpose for me.
You already have a purpose and you're continuing with it. So I wish you all the very best. Your beauty with a purpose and traveling the world, impacting lives and emitting that radiance and that energy so that they make this place a better world. And that's what we're all about. So thank you very much and enjoy this title. I'm Dr. Renee Mehrra. Thank you so much for watching.